Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Welcome, the 178th day. This is the second show. The second. Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Welcome, the 178th day. This is the second show. The second. Oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see what happens there? I apologize for that. I should delete this section and start again. But we're not going to do that. John Van Dam is here. Carrie B is here. No echo. What happens is I'm looking on my machine and it's on YouTube. I've got it on YouTube, but I also have it on. Maybe I should make a note to myself. I should make a note because it happens every single time. Anyway, this is the 48th. I think this is the 48th night stream. Everybody relax. Calm down. Take it easy. Take it easy. We're all calming. I'm going to calm down. I'm telling you to calm down. I'm telling you to calm down. I'm like, Mr. Cuff is here. Good to see you. Gnome Hunter. Shanks in the building. That's his new name. Shanks Roast Beef. Thank you very much, Shanks, for being involved completely. I need to get back to Shanks. He sent me a message and I have to get back to him. Okay, who else is here? Girl from Mars, beautiful, beautiful girl from Mars is here. Mr. Cuff thinks you're all fellow nutters. You might be fellow nutters. I've been watching Alex Karp, that Palantir guy, Alex Karp. And he reminds me of me. He's jumping all around. I mean, he's worse than I am. He's like jumping all around, screaming at people. At least I want people to like to listen to. I mean, I think he doesn't really understand that people maybe aren't liking him. I mean, I've been trained in the stand-up comedy arts to know when the audience is not paying attention, when they're not liking me. I generally think that people aren't liking me anyway. That's what I think. I just think you're not liking me, but I do appreciate you being here. I mean, number one, do you think, hold on one second, do you think that I start the show maybe 8 minutes early? Is that appropriate to do? Or is it just wasted dead airspace? Do you like that I started earlier? Do I like it started earlier? What do you say about that? Anyway, Gnome Hunter is here. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. I mean, maybe we could talk about what happened. I got very passionate during the early show. I don't even remember what the early show was about. What was the early show was about? Anyway, this show should be I don't believe you. Lewis Schaffer, I don't believe you. You don't have to believe anything that I say because I say a lot of shit that happens to be true. A lot of shit. I don't believe in germs. I try not to use soap. I don't shampoo. I don't brush my teeth anymore. I try not to eat carbs, though I've been so weak lately. I've been like a liar. I tell people not to use carbs. Right? I tell them, don't use carbs. David B is here. Good to see you. Welcome, David B. David B. Abercrombie and Fitch. Is that what this shirt is? I think it could be that. It could be that. I got it in New York. Starting earlier can be counterproductive. It's handy to have a notification come in when it starts, but it gives people a chance to chat. So what do you know? Well, you have your opinion, and we can go from there. We can maybe take a poll on it. What should I do? Should I start 10 minutes earlier? Good to see you, David B, for coming. I mean, it's not the end of the world, 8 minutes, but I mean, I notice a lot of the other ones, they maybe do it a minute early, not 8 minutes early. And I'm just sitting here like looking at the thing, waiting. And it actually goes very fast. The 8 minutes goes fast. The 8 minutes before I start the show does not, when it goes fast because I think I'm going to start the show at 20 minutes after. And time goes so fast from about 18 minutes after. I don't know if you're going to find this interesting. Let me turn the sound off on my phone here. I don't know. Rocket League is here, and he's here watching Rocket League. He's watching. He's watching Rocket League. Thank you for coming in, Rocket League. So what did we say? I think it's going to be a great show. If you're getting of you are getting pissed and are on for with the comments, Mr. Cuff. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I don't trust anyone unless they are a professor or a woman, says No Hunter. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't know what that comes from, what that means. Joodles is here. Hello, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Joodles. It's a minimalist Christmas. This shirt is a minimal. I got this in I don't remember where I got it. Whether I got it in Jersey at a what do you call those discount shopping malls called? What are those called? The kind up in Beaster. What is that called? Where they have outlet shops. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember how much I paid for, but it wasn't super amount of money. I bought it when I took my kids. When I did a really good job, and I took my kids to America. Rich guy. I took my kids to America. We didn't spend that much money though, really. We stayed in like kind of bad hotels in Kingston, in Williamsport, in Pennsylvania. Evening all. Sell air at Audax is here. Lewis, you've just been robbed. I show speed. Just one live streamer of the year. Well, who knows? Maybe I don't know. 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 I don't know where this stream is going. Really, where is it going? I mean, this is basically it. I mean, I think something could happen. I've done this now. We've done this for 220 26 shows. 200, no, that can't be right. 226 shows. Yeah. That's how many shows it's been. 226 shows. 1 hour and 30 minutes of a show. I don't know. So I was watching Alex. Anybody know this Palantir guy? Palantir. My son said, "Oh, you don't know who Alex Karp is from Palantir." I don't know what he does. I think he provides like electronic services. He says that they do work for the NHS. But the point is when people start finding out that they're doing work for the NHS, they're going to be really unhappy. Who's Alex Karp? Karp. I don't like the sound of this guy. Says Jeds. Hello, Jedster. Lewis, my profile photo is the gingerbread house made with my daughter today. So let's, it's such a tiny little image. It's as big as one type. Let me see if I can't find it over here. You could always post it on. You don't want to be on Discord, or you could go to Lewis Schaffer on Twitter and send me a message, and I am on message. I mean, Carrie B, I did ask Lewis to say a prayer for you. The prayers are hilarious. You piss myself every time. Well, I think prayer is ridiculous because there is no such thing as God. So it's ridiculous for me to say a prayer to God when I don't even think that God actually exists. But having said that, I'm thinking maybe there is a God. That's maybe why this is funny, because I'm sitting here saying there is no God, and I'm going, well, I don't, yes, as Joodles has pointed out to me, I don't know whether you find it funny or not, everything with me is yes or no, or maybe. Is there a God? I don't think there is a God, but there might be a God. Eugene DeVere is in San Francisco. San Francisco, the United States, so there's a million San Franciscos in every Spanish country. He was a great guy, St. Francis. Why have you been praying then? Because I don't believe in God. I'll tell you why. Because because I believe in worrying. And I don't know whether you think this is whether you understand what I mean by this. And I just heard somebody else speaking about this, and I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was on that guy, the Sandman. The Sandman. And he says that most of the things that we worry about never come true. They never come true. But worrying means you're concerned about them coming true. So you're prepared. Let's say, like personally, I'm worried that they're going to start killing the Jews again. And you go, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Well, I believe it. I think it's quite possible. And because I'm worried about that, I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to get my house in order if they're going to start killing the Jews. And that's, hi, Lucy Van Pelt. That's what I believe. I believe, and is that God? Is God? I believe if you worry about something enough, it probably won't happen, or it won't happen to you. Is God acting in that case? I don't know. Okay. The prayer started with the news of Simon Arnold's passing. I think Simon Arnold, he's dead, but I think he would like to know that a prayer has been said about him. I would like that, even if I'm dead. My kids would like to hear that. Maybe you would like to hear, oh my God, they're saying a prayer for Lewis Schaffer. That's how prayer helps our mind focus. These are really bad times. Are they bad times for you? They may not be, but I'll tell you something about me. I'm an unbelievable worrying type person. And I worry about everything. And worrying makes me focus. When I sit here and I'm not worried, if I'm not concerned whether the sound, like for example, I wasn't concerned that the sound was going to have an echo on the show tonight, but it did. It did because I did not worry about it. I mean, I don't know whether this is the right answer. You don't have to be buzzing to know that there's a God. Well, a lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people don't believe in God. I mean, I know what the history of God is from Velikovsky, the idea of one God. That's a Jewish idea. Okay, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Yes, it is. Not necessarily. Sometimes it doesn't happen. I remember I can make a list of so many things that I've been worried about in my own life. Personal things, also for this country, for America, and for the Jews. And for the Jews, Lewis, I think you do a trip to Mecca and Medina in order to complete your God-seeking quest. Jerusalem didn't work for you, and neither did Rome from the sound of it. So there is only one left. No, there's lots of gods. Lots of God left, basically. And I'm not going to believe in their God because they hate me. I'd have to give up everything I believe. It's like you telling me, no, don't, eat more carbs. It would be, wait a second, I've been telling people not to eat carbs for 8 years, 7 years, since January 1st, 2019, 7 years. Mark said something similar to, okay, so where are we here? Why are there bad times? There are bad times because we're about to be taken over by a communist. We've got a communist regime right now who hates this country. If you love this country, if you are white and you like being white and you don't want to be told you're a bad person, sorry about this. These could be bad times, but maybe they're not. Maybe you could say, Lewis, I think you're worried unnecessarily. But for the first time in my life, a lot of you have said, you know what, I agree with you, Lewis. I'm worried too. The new God is smartphones. Not really, no. No. Why do we pray? I pray. I've only started praying here. I don't pray other places. But I think prayer is a good thing. It's saying, what do I need to do? I'm asking you, dear Lord, to help. And I'm thinking, if there is a Lord, I'm looking up at the hole in my ceiling. If there is a Lord, He's saying, what are you doing for yourself? God helps those who help themselves, which might be true, but we're still looking for your help. Can you help us out? The dyslexic atheist insomnia stayed awake all night wondering if there was a dog. Okay, says Mr. Cuff. That's a joke. We're making good jokes. Stained glass windows keep the cold outside, while the hypocrites hide inside the public image. Caribbee. I'm not saying you should believe in Catholicism or the Church of England or Islam or whatever. We have to. I mean, I'm a Jew. I believe in a personal connection with God, but I also believe in a community connection with God. Churchill said what? Pascal's wager. I've never heard of what does Pascal's wager mean, Lucy Van Pelt? Yeah, I'm hedging my bets. And I find that by praying, it makes me less stressed. Can't you tell how stressed I am? What is Judels knows what you're talking about, but I don't know. Am I going to have to look it up, what Pascal's wager is? Religion is a collective madness. Organized religion is going to church as a collective, but people are at home doing their own thing in their own brain. So how is that a collective madness, Rocket League? You don't need, okay, there we go. I have a fab coffee table book about the painted ladies of San Fran. The houses are so colorful. Which San Fran? Is that San Fran in America? Or is it San Fran in another place? The Isle of Man is my place of worship, says Mr. Cuff. Could be. It's beautiful there. It's beautiful. But we have our problems here, no matter how beautiful England is. I've read maybe all of Alan Watts's books, and some of them I've read dozens of times. You know, Alan Watts is great. Thank you very much, Shanks. Yes, he is great. He is great. It only lasted for a few seconds. It's a bit random. I don't know what you're on about. Okay. Girl from Mars. McCuff, thank you. I didn't want Lewis to call me a liar. Laugh out loud. What did you say that I could call you a liar? I didn't read what you said. 4 in a box. Quartz. Religion, study, work, arts. 4 in a box. Quartz. Religion, study, work, arts. What do you think? I don't understand what that means exactly. I believe in the sea, the trees, and the rocks. You know, yeah, you can believe in whatever you want to believe. I'm not forcing anybody to believe. The public image, Johnny Lydon, Johnny Rotten, yeah. I love public image. Public Image Limited, I loved it. I don't believe you, Lewis, says McCuff. I don't believe that you didn't want Lewis to call you a liar. Oh, this is talking to the girl from Mars. I don't believe you, girl from Mars, says Mr. Cuff. I don't believe that you didn't want Lewis to call you a liar. You probably don't believe me when I say that. Well, I don't believe. I'm telling you, you're saying to me, I don't believe you believe in God. And I probably don't believe in God. But it doesn't hurt me, whatever you say to me. It can't hurt me. If you leave, that really hurts me. Do you believe the moon landings, David Toby? Welcome back, David Toby. I believe the moon landings were there. I believe that. It's not that impossible to believe. I mean, basically, a lot of people don't want to believe the moon landings because they want to demoralize America. You know, but I've been to America. I know what America can do. America won World War II by producing 50,000 Sherman tanks. And that's what America does. When it wants to do something, it can, or maybe let's hope it can continue, it can do something. Russ is here. Lewis, just out of interest, and sorry to be personal, but you have mentioned your mother was mentally ill. She was declared mentally ill. Did she ever recover? My mother has gone mad. She is elderly, though. Did she ever recover? I mean, yeah, there were good times and bad times. There were times of manic periods. I mean, did she ever recover? She wasn't mental all the time, my mother, but there were moments when she fell into huge depressions and couldn't get out of bed for weeks or months at a time. And they took her to have electric shock treatment. And then they gave her pills. And then there were other times when she went manic, when she went absolutely flying manic. So the answer is no. The answer is no. If you want to help your mother, you feed your mother. You do not feed your mother any bread, any starches, carbs, potatoes, rice, fruit. You don't give her candy. You don't give her rice pudding. That's how you help your mom, Russ. And I'm going to pray. Let's pray for Russ's mom. I think that would be a good prayer. Prayer for Russ and Russ's mom. I'm going to pray for Russ because it's really hard when somebody goes mad. When somebody goes mad, when your mother goes mad, it's like, oh my God, that you're a little child. You're a little child, and your mother is mad, and you know how unbelievably stressful that is. It's horrible. So I'm going to pray for Russ's mom at the end of the show. Thank you very much for mentioning that. Yeah, Carrie B says he's sorry to hear that. We're all sorry to hear that. Let's see. I was into Alan Watts too, and Carl Jung. He grew up right over here in Chislehurst, where Chislehurst Caves are, where Alan Watts. And then he went to America, and just basically had free sex back in the 1960s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. He was what I'd like to be like that guy. I think Lucy Van Pelt and Carl Jung. Did we discuss Carl Jung? I was discussing with somebody the other day. It was the Soviets who first promoted the conspiracy theory that America faked the moon landing. I don't know. You don't want to blight the Soviets, but the Soviets were not that great. But then again, Americans weren't perfect either. I never heard that, Lucy, but thank you for that information. Does anybody know about that with the Soviets? Anyway, I don't believe it. Girl from Mars. No, I'm not. But it seems like a good option these days, Mr. Cuff. I don't know what that's all about. Gnome Hunter is talking to Lucy. I wonder why, laugh out loud. They did win the space race, though. Well, in a way, they won because a lot of the rockets used are still Russian rockets. So, did they win the space race? I mean, no, they didn't, because the space race was going to the moon. After that, nothing really mattered. Nothing mattered. Egotism is blamed for the mad witches back in the day. Bad carbs in bread. Yes, they blame bad carbs in bread, but it could have just been the carbs itself. Lewis is the new Alan Watts. You know what? I'm even going to accept that as true, even though it's so outrageous, Shanks. But that would be brilliant. I'd love to be Alan. Alan Watts is great. Anything close to Alan Watts. And he was English. He was an English man from Chislehurst. So you guys can be proud of that, you English people, British people. When I say English, I'm including Scottish people, Welsh people, and Irish people as part of English people. I look after her, and I'm the only child, and I don't have other members of the family to get support. So I appreciate this. If you want to make her happy, how old is she? That's also important. But is she bipolar? My mother was bipolar. They called it manic depression back then. Well, Russ, I'm not going to support you too much, but I will say a prayer for you. We'll all say a prayer. I looked after my grandmother 24 hours a day when I was 16 years old, Mr. Cuff says. She had dementia, and it was really draining for me. She looked after me as a kid, so it was my duty to look after her. Yeah. Yes, it was. It was really, it's our duty. But do you know what causes the dementia is a high-carb diet. I believe that. A high-carb diet, toxic seed oils, you eliminate that. Now, how is that pronounced, Lucy? Didn't you, or Joodles, didn't you tell me how this was pronounced? Or Eugene DeVere? It's pronounced ergo or ergot. LSD. Yeah, the grain was rotting and it caused mental things. What about David Watts? Who is David Watts? I don't remember who David Watts is. Is it pronounced ergo or ergot? They did win the space race. They got a man in space first multiple times. They were winning. They were winning the space race. But nobody cared about space once they landed a man on the moon. You know, for like 20, 30, 40 years. They don't even care now. They got a man in space multiple times. The moon landing was done on purpose to one-up them and take the eyes off the USA's delayed in getting there first. Yes, we were behind and they were winning. And they were winning. They put a rocket into space. But they didn't land the guy on the moon, have him come back, have these three guys come back alive, which we did. And then no one cared after that. You're a young guy, you don't remember. No one cared after the sixth trip to the moon. 6. That's why I don't believe that it was a conspiracy, because we landed six. Yeah, David Watts could be. Yeah, no, or the Watt engine or something maybe could have been. That's when Scottish people. Okay, let me just get back to that. So, America, whatever. It doesn't matter whether we win or not. Whether we win or not. It was the space race, not the moon race. You weren't there, Noam Hunter. You were not there. Did David Watts invent the steam engine? Noam had something similar to his nan. She had 3 cancers killing her, nothing in the head, but it was still horrible. Hopefully, they are all resting in heaven. Well, you believe in God. Yeah, there we go. There we go. The key thing is if you don't want to get cancer, can be caused by many, many things, but rapid cancer growth is caused by a high carb diet. I don't care. You could say that I'm wrong and full of shit. I don't give a shit. I know Lewis needs proof, but I was caring for I don't need proof. I just, do I believe you? I believe you believe it's true. I'm not questioning you. But I was caring for my mom and my son. She was in Herne Bay, out there by Herne Bay, out by Whitstable or wherever Herne Bay is. It's all the way west, right? I know Lewis needs proof, but I was caring for my mom and my son, and she was at Herne Bay having seizures. When I got home, my son was having seizures. It fucks you up, yeah. Yeah, seizures are really bad. They're really bad. And do you know what you need to do to prevent seizures? You need to eliminate toxicity from the diet. This is what I believe. You don't have to believe this, and you don't have to believe that I believe this, but I'm telling you this. You can listen to it and say, is it true? Is it true? Is it true? But we need to stop having high carb diets and high toxic seed oils. What is a toxic seed oil? Rapeseed oil, corn oil, canola oil, that kind of oil, even, whatever. How do you believe the moon landings if you weren't there? That's a really good question. Am I open to the moon landings not being true? Yes, I am, because I don't know. I don't believe anything. You are totally right, Mr. Cuff. I don't believe it. I'm not 100% true. Caribbean says that David Watts was in the jam. Is that true? Is in the jam. Okay. Horrible to hear. Seeing these things leaves a scar on one's conscience. I have worked near Herne Bay, laugh out loud. Not the best place to work in. It's on the edge of the world over there. It's, the next step is Norway or Denmark or something. But yeah, if you have seizures, what do they call people with seizures? What do they call it? What do you call it with seizures? And what is that called? I forget what that's called. The illness that people have where they got to worry about their tongue. We didn't land 6 times. Well, you didn't land at all because you're not American. Okay? I'm saying that in a mean way, but that's true. We didn't land on the moon. You didn't land on the moon. It wasn't your tax dollars. It was my father's tax dollars. How many times did we go to the moon? Let's find out the answer to that question, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll get back to the stream. This is one of those pet subjects. You know, I've talked about this before. I've spoken about this before. How many times have we landed on the moon with people? Okay. And the answer is 6 times, with a total of 12 astronauts walking on the lunar surface, 1969 to 1972. Okay? Do you see that, everybody? Do you see that? Who am I to Rocket League? Did you see that, Rocket League? You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. Okay, you owe me an apology. Okay, let's get back on track. Did you know that? Did you know we landed on the moon? Epilepsy. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Epilepsy. If you have epilepsy, you've got to stop. I mean, I don't know whether you can totally eliminate it, but I would say stop having toxic seed oils. Stop having toxic seed oils. So I was right about 6 times on the moon. Aren't I incredible? Aren't I incredible? I am incredible. You're lucky to be speaking to me. I could provide my own toxic seed oil after a kebab and garlic sauce. Well, garlic sauce, I think, is made with toxic seed oil. What is it made with? What is real garlic sauce made with? Let's go check out that. Can you tell me what's in garlic seed oil? I'm going to check myself because you probably don't know. But what is garlic sauce made out of? Okay. And the answer is fresh garlic oil could be made with vegetable oil, which is toxic seed oil. Acid and lemon. Cream for richness. I guess it could be cream, but I don't think you go. You know what it is? The vinegar in fish shops isn't even vinegar anymore. This is what I've heard. Did you hear that? We landed on the moon 6 times. The Kinks did it first, I think. Okay. Thank you, Joe, for saying epilepsy. Mr. Spoon went there several times a week, but I don't believe him. I think he may have been having an affair with Mummy Egbert. I don't know who Mummy Egbert is, Lucy. When did this Heathrow thing happen? I'm only seeing it in the news now. Yeah, it's the Muslims. They don't give a shit that people hate them. The Soviets also won the race towards the core to the Earth. That's true. They went the furthest down, and they couldn't dig any deeper because it's hot. I think they went 20,000 feet down deep. No. Debunk that somehow. I'd like to see you struggle. No, I think they won. They went as far as they could go, about 10 to 20,000 feet. And then their drills broke because they didn't make it there. I'm not debunking that. There is people saying that seed oils are not bad for you, experts on podcasts. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. There are people who believe in veganism. Yes, there are. There are people who believe in vegetarianism. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Carrie B says, you have no idea about epilepsy. No, I don't. I just have my theory. And you could say, Lewis, okay, I know you believe that, Lewis. But here, take a look at this. You might find this interesting. I will look at it because I'm a great guy. I will look at it. I will look at it. Thank you for epilepsy. I don't know when it happened. I didn't read about it, but I just saw the images and I just thought, oh, this is bad. I think this morning, not really sure. Anyone who owned a ZX-81 knows technology was not up to the moon landings in 1969. I mean, there was no computer on board Columbus's ship either, and it made it. Button moon. What does that mean, girl from Mars? Button Moon. I slept with a Teletubby. I know two or three of the Teletubbies. I know the black Teletubby, and I know the other Teletubby, and I know of the other. I think I know three of the four Teletubbies. Very well. At least you are not a complete fool. Just abrasive. Yeah, I'm abrasive. But the point is, there was no. The point is that experiment that the Russians did by going down 20,000 feet proves that the Earth is really hot. But the Earth has been sitting there in a cold universe, for 14 billion years or whatever. And it's still boiling so close to the Earth's surface. Why is that? And the answer to that question, you know what I'm going to say, Velikovsky. 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 A real Teletubby or a cuddly Teletubby? They actually are real Teletubbies. And I knew three of them. Well, I knew of two. I knew two personally, and I knew one. The kebab shop used men's sperm near to me. No joke. It was in the papers. Yeah, that can happen a lot. Because men are pigs. People are pigs, but men are pigs. Men are horrible. Ugh, men are horrible. We're off to Button Moon. We'll follow Mr. Spoon. Is that a song? Is that a song? I'd like to sing that song. Okay, the Earth is 4 billion years old, which is not true at all. It isn't true. Maybe, it's not 4 billion years old. It could be thousands and not even, it's probably millions. It's probably millions. Velikovsky. When you guys know about Velikovsky, you can have a discussion with me. I don't know much about Velikovsky. Who wants to buy a Lewis Schaffer mug? Yeah, maybe put it on Discord. Tinky Winky, Dave Thompson. Yes, Dave Thompson, stand-up comedian, lovely man. Yes. Lovely guy, Dave Thompson. Did he have a mustache back then? You shouldn't go around saying you had sex with somebody. Are you allowed to do that, Carrie B? Are we allowed to do that? I had sex with Lou. What about all these women? What about all the women who are going to have sex with me someday when you lose your minds? What are you going to go around saying I had sex with Lewis Schaffer? Now, maybe you can. Maybe you can do that. I would buy a mug as long as the proceeds don't go to Lewis Schaffer. Gnome. Carrie B. Wow. You know something. You know something much. What does that mean? Wow. You know something much. Wow. What does that mean, girl from Mars? You know something much. I mean, we want to keep a secret. Maybe it was 20 years ago. So you're probably, or longer. You're probably thinking it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. To say you had sex with Dave Thompson. Dave Thompson. I'll tell you who. My mind is so I can't even remember who the people's names are. But I'm going to look at Teletubbies. Let me just say this: Teletubbies was evil. I never let my kids watch it. Teletubbies. It was just such an evil thing. Evil show. It's like basically, let's not give children love. Let's put them in front of the TV. Whatever. Yes, one. Toya Wilcox had additional voices in that. Eric Sykes was in it. And he sucks. Amazing. Eric Sykes. He's famous. I mean, other people had like a few episodes. Wow. 234 episodes that she was in. Eric Sykes was like quite famous. Okay, we're back on track. We're back on track. Lucy. I had a lovely night with him. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Carrie B. Yeah, he's famous, Yeah, Dave. Okay. Lucy Van Pelt. I saw a man being arrested, and he had his hood up, so I couldn't see his face. It was like if that was me being arrested, the police would not let me wear the hood. You know the point I'm making. Yes, the point is he's probably an Islamic person. Basically, yeah, an Islamic person. And somebody told me there's only 3%. I don't want to discuss it. The Teletubbies were evil. Yes, they were totally evil because they were for little babies to watch TV when babies should be playing with their mothers and their fathers. Mothers and their fathers. Maria is here. Hello, Maria. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Where have you been? Maria Panagalotis. Well, hello. My son sat next to Madonna at a film premiere. He was 10 and towered over Madonna. Where did that come from? How did we suddenly talk about Madonna? We're talking about the Teletubbies here. The Teletubbies are awesome. Maybe as an adult, they're kind of awesome. But when you're a baby, you need to look at your mommy. Otherwise, you don't look at your mommy when you're an adult. And then you say, well, why don't I look at my mommy? TV shaped us. Champion, the world, the Wonder Horse. I didn't see that, Eugene read. I don't even know what that is. Was Andy Pandy trans? Tiz was. My sister's boyfriend at the time was a flower pot man. John Thompson of the Fast Show. Flower pot men. Isn't that the band that sang Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes and Nobody Knows Like Me? Isn't that the Flower Pot Men? Babes are on tech devices now, which is worse. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is really, really worse. I didn't want my kids to be raised by carers. So I stayed home and gave up a very unsuccessful comedy career. Or successful, I don't know, it depends on how you look at it. Comedy career. To look in my kids' eyes, I just stare at their eyes like that. Whatever they did. They went like this. I went like this. I went like this. They went like this. You do this enough. The kids, you look at them, you talk to them, you go boo boo boo. They go boo boo boo. You go boo boo boo. You go boo boo boo. Eventually they talk and they go to you, they become quite smart. Bop to bop, bop bop to be, bop bop bop. I don't know what that is. Eugene DeVere. No, it's not that. Well, what is it then? Explain what it is. Explain what it is. Let's explain what it is. That's what I believe you got to do. You want to have kids who are communicating. You've got to communicate with them. And the way you communicate them is by looking them in the eyes, like I'm looking at you in the eyes. I'm looking at you, Carrie B. I'm looking at you, Joodles and Lucy and Gnome and Mr. Cuff. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at all of you guys at Jedster. John Thompson lives in South Manchester. Carrie B., are you serious? You know a lot. She does know a lot. She's lived a lot of, she lives over there in Greenwich, and that used to be one of the coolest places in the entire world. Team World has hidden the truth from us. You literally can't take your eyes off your baby for even a split second or it will spontaneously combust. I almost believe that, Lucy. Yes, you need to constantly look at them. I believe that. I believe that. I believe you've got to give babies constant attention while they're awake. And then when they're going to sleep, you've got to leave them alone. Ignore them. Lewis does not understand us fellas. What don't I understand about you fellas? Drifting further down the hole of insanity by the minute. The last 5 minutes have not made sense at all. We're talking about Teletubbies, and I'm saying why Teletubbies was evil because parents thought they could put their kids in front of a TV set, okay, and be nourished emotionally. But it doesn't. It's non-nourishing. A baby should not watch any TV. Any TV. They shouldn't be given any devices now either. That's what I've been saying. What does that mean? What do you mean I don't understand, Eugene? Anyway, girl from the 1969. Uh, I'm my mom, my brother were on a flight from Zurich to London with the monkeys. Okay, with the monkeys. Well, that's amazing. I really respect the monkeys, but they also were more insane than Lewis Schaffer. They thought they could go it alone, and they didn't. They couldn't. They weren't a real band, and they thought they could be a real band. And that's what's amazing. Amazing. They thought they were a real band, and they weren't. John Miller is here. Hello, John Miller. Was Madonna flying on the plane? Being an actor, you mill in directions. You mill in directions. Um, in jokes, we all know. Yes, this is not about in jokes. You could tell you're in jokes to the people listening. Everybody gets the jokes. They go, Lewis, how come you don't understand what the hell we're talking about? Because I wasn't living in the country at the time. I wasn't watching that stuff at the time. I know a lot of stuff though, but I don't know everything. Eugene DeVere, I don't know a lot of everything. Thank God my mother wasn't neurotic and I got to enjoy Pink Panther and Batfink. What is Batfink? I never heard of Batfink. Soup Dragon. I think kids can watch some TV, but I don't think that a baby should watch TV just so that you don't pay enough attention to them. You put them in a chair and you let them look off into space. It's better than watching the TV. Soup Dragon. Nice, lovely man. My son misses him. I don't know what we're talking about here. I mean, it's an in joke. Keep on going with the in jokes. The less I have to think, the better on this. I'm gonna go get my pair of eyeglasses. I don't really need them. I'm reading this, so I don't even know why, but I think I do. It's just it's hard. I agree. Kids should not be given devices until they're like 13. Says Al. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I gave my kid devices at 10 because I wanted them to be able to contact me. And then the mother took. I don't know what happened with those devices. But I wanted the kids to not forget that they had a father. Yes, and he throws the toy monkey across the stage at the end. Jedster is here. Ron Smith is here. I don't know what he's talking about. His wings are like shields of steel, Lewis. Batfink was a hilarious show. I never heard of the show Batfink at all. I never heard of it. I never heard of it. Did you guys hear about it? I never heard of it. I never heard of it. Everybody, it's an hour. Can we press the like button while we're here? Just press the like button. Let's see what we can do today. I would appreciate it so much. So much. So much. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. This is our 226th show. 226 show. That's a lot of shows. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Go like that. Yeah. You need to, I believe in paying attention to children. That's what I believe in. I don't know if I could find my list of rules for raising kids, but that was number one thing is kids need to be paid attention to while they're during the waking hours and when they're going to sleep. You close the door and then they learn to sleep in a darkened room and then they're not afraid. Half of American shows, I know half, I know the ones that are American shows. I know the Monkees, Eugene DeVere. I don't know the other one. I'm surprised you haven't heard of Batfink. I never heard of that, Lewis. It was American, originated show in the 60s when I was a kid. I don't know. Should I look that up? I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look up what Batfink was. Batfink. We're going to find out what it was. Okay, 1966. It was a cartoon. My Wings, very interesting. It looks like an American animated series, Batfink, consisting of 5-minute shorts, first aired in April 1960. 100 episodes. I've never heard of this. Maybe I was too old. I was 9 years old at the time. Hal Seeger, a send-up of the popular Batman and Green Hornet. Let me see where did it air? Karate? I don't know. The Chief, the Mayor. Let me just look for Batfink cast. Batfink cast. Honest to God, Lucy, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of this at all. At all. At all. What was My Wings Are Shields of Steel? Okay, no. 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 No, I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. Children say the unfiltered things. Lewis, don't forget your prayer for 1974. And Mom, well, we're not done yet. We got a half an hour to go. We got a na 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 na. Banana Splits. I love that music so much, right? Um, let me get back. Let me get back on track here. Okay. I haven't heard of this. Okay. Carrie B, what were we discussing? I just saw this line. Did you say something else that I missed? I didn't see anything about this. Mark the Rosian is here. I do too when the prospects of a job aren't on the line, honestly. Honesty is precious. I don't know how I've lost stuff. I've lost the thread. I've lost the thread. Quick Draw Madraw, I've heard of it. El Kabong. Um, have you seen ContraPoint's video from 2017 on Sargon's channel? They predicted things well. Well, 2017 is not that far, not that long ago. I hate these messes to pieces. Will I get tagged? I might get tagged, Lucy. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write it down. I'll put a star next to it and I'll keep my eye out for it. What makes it so good? Explain what makes it so good, Lucy. Yeah, Caribbean, what? FF's sake, girl. What? We've got 27 people watching, only 15 likes. Thank you, Warmellian. Everyone remember to hammer the thumbs up like a button. Yeah, thumbs up, the thumbs up. Do the thumbs up. Also do the subscribe thing too. And maybe go to Ko-fi, 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 once a month, 10 cents a month, 10 pence or less. Um, Okay. Let's help each other if we can. Should I play Batfink? If there's a demand, I'll play it. The Fireman. What is the Fireman? I don't know. Lewis, what's your Twitter address? It's Lewis Schaffer, at Lewis Schaffer, Lewis. It's the same name right there. Put those two names together and you'll find it. That's my Twitter address. You can send me a message there. You can send me a message and I will listen to it. I'm going to the other room and get the eyeglasses. Trumpton riots. Been watching the English refugee channel. Sounds interesting too. I'll be back in a second. Sorry. I just got my glasses. Let me put my glasses on. I wanted you to point in the fridge. All right, sorry about that. Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer. Maybe someday in the future when I become famous, you'll go, and when this show becomes famous, you say, do you remember Lewis Schaffer used to point to the fridge? Like he had his name written on the fringe. I don't want pity, says Caribbean. I just want to not being blamed of being an attractive, of being blamed. I just want to not being blamed of being an attractive child. Okay. Lewis Schaffer. I think I don't hear any laughter. I don't know if it's funny. I just, it's something that I do. I don't know what you're on about, Carrie B, but I feel your pain. People have pain. You've been in pain. You've had a very interesting life, and you've had some pain. You've had some pain. Thank you, Mark DeRosian, for saying this. I hope that came across as me sounding sincere. Look at this. Look at that there. I never had this. Um, no, it's never the child's fault. Um, Chadster, that's really proper funny. I could call it the Edinburgh Fridge. This is the Edinburgh. I'm not going to the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm going to the Edinburgh Fridge. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put a star next to it. Edinburgh. Burr. Don't tell me I'm not pronouncing it properly. My children are from Edinburgh. Lewis looks uncomfortably insincere when he's being sincere. Yes, that's interesting. You'd say that, Selaire. I mean, don't we all? Don't we all? Because I'm thinking this is the right thing to say, and this is the right thing to say. I mean, I didn't hear enough of the story, but I think what I'm saying is basically true. Is basically true. Thank you very much. And that's why I'm not discussing it too much here. So we can discuss it privately, unless you want me to discuss it publicly, and then I'll discuss it. Have you cut yourself shaving? Where? What these things here? These things here. Look at how big these things are. I never had this. I never had this. And then when I lost weight, it all came in. It's all a child's memories. Some TV, not all bad, mostly just silly. Yeah, that's what's good about this show. We bring a lot of memories up in these shows. I bring memories up myself, Mark. Okay. Cut myself shaving. You're saying shaving my testicles, Mr. Cuff. Alfie Cap is here again. Jedster. What's yellow and comes from Edinburgh? Edinburgh Rock? No, it's not that. What is? What's yellow and comes from Edinburgh? Homeless people's pee? Rupert the fridge? Says Mr. Cuff. I don't know. I'm on the members camera, Cuff. Is this, I think I need to be brighter. I don't feel like this is, I mean, it looks all right. I guess maybe it looks all right. Everybody, can we go back and make sure we've all signed this thing? All press the like button, the thumbs up button, please. Can we press the thumbs up button? I'm going to list the names. Just say Carrie B, Ron Smith, if you press the thumbs up button. Mr. Cuff, Eugene DeVere, Alex, have you pressed it? Please press it. Russ, Lucy. I know it makes me happy. Now I'm getting all paranoid. I'm thinking you don't want to make me happy. It's not a major amount of happiness. It's just telling the algorithm. What is it called? The algorithm that you hear. Maybe it'll be promoted to somebody else. You know, Mark Therosian, Ron Smith, Girl from Mars, Alfie Cap, Gnome Hunter. Press the thumbs up thing, not the thumbs down. Eugene DeVere. I mean, it's Sunday night. It's Sunday night. We can discuss whatever we want to discuss. And then we're going to have a prayer for Russ to be able to have the strength to take care of the mother that he loves. Okay. Almost a 30 viewers. We've done quite well tonight's show. I've liked Lewis. Oh, not that you've liked me. You've liked Lewis. Okay, relax. The first thing I do when I get here, I don't know what you do. I just see there's only 16 names, but there are 30 people. 30 people in the stream and only 16 likes. That means 14 haven't liked for whatever reason. Maybe you forgot. I don't know. I'm not blaming you. I think you've been a huge supporter of this stream. Mr. Cuff has been a huge supporter. Girl from Mars. Everybody here has been huge supporters. But sometimes we forget to like it. Lewis, how is your son today? Well, my son with the throat thing. He went to work. He's doing good. He's doing better. He comes home. He's in a grumpy mood. I'm grumpy in the morning. The Schaffer family is very grumpy. Basically. So I want to apologize to my son. Thank you very much, Girl from Mars, for asking how my son is doing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lucy Van Pelt. I do appreciate that. It means a lot to me, Lucy Van Pelt. Oh, my dog had a mad 30 minutes up and down the stairs, Eugene DeVere. What does that mean? A mad 30 minutes. Is that an in-joke? I don't know. I don't know what it means to go up and down the stairs. I never had a dog when I was a kid. I had cats. Oh, the puke, the Duke of Edinburgh. Yellow is the puke of Edinburgh. Okay, that's what Alfie Cap. It's a joke. Okay. When I was 12, I was told looking like Marilyn Monroe was my fault. Well, you were a pretty girl. That's what I think. That's what they were saying. I don't think did they mean it in a hostile way. I know you're probably not related, but I'll call you my sister, girl from Mars. This is what Mr. Cuff says. If you want, I can imagine with being subjected to your ramblings. They are not the happiest people. My children, no, they're not. They're not the happiest people. But they're happy to be living here. You know, they could move to their mother, or whatever. They can move out or something. My kids, I don't know if my kids are happy. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But mostly, I can't talk about it, but I believe in paying total attention to your children if you can. And I don't think I've paid total attention to them. Why do you do these streams or talks? If you don't mind me asking, I don't mind you asking. I do these talks because I'm an attention seeker, number one, because it's it's training for something else when I get called to go back on TV. It's because I really care about what's going on in Britain. And this is my way of being semi-political. And also I've got a lot of opinions and some people like to hear them, and I'm interested in what you guys have to say. Dave Toby. I don't even know if that was funny, but that's what it is. Had cats that used to go mad just around bedtime. Okay, why? You didn't feed him enough? What were you feeding him? Feed him a high protein, meat based diet. Meat, not even meat based, meat diet. To be fair, I only have Lewis for an hour or so. It gives me a break from him. It gives them a break from him. Mr. Cuff says, to be fair, we only have Lewis for an hour or so, period. It gives them a break from him. As much as we love him, imagine a break from the kids. The kids get a break. Yeah. You've got 4 cats and 1 pigeon. You must have had a lot more pigeons than 1 pigeon. Pigeons have the letter D and an E in them. MIDGEON. Thank you, Mr. Cuff. That's basically true. Okay. Why do you listen to the show? Why have you come into the show? Or the stream? It's not much of a show. It's a stream. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why people listen to this, but I think Joe is still here. Thank you, Joe. Have you pressed the like button? You're just listening for a change. Don't think you haven't been missed. You've been missed. 24 hours of Lewis, maybe. You know what it is? I mean, it sounds like a great idea. Women love that. They love the idea. I want to be with him every second. Until they get to know you, and then it's not so sure. Headliners was hilarious when you drove them mad. Pure comedy, yeah. And I drive people here mad, too. Do I not drive you guys mad a bit? Lucy Van Pelt has been angry at me many times. I just found out it was a suitcase robbery at Heathrow Airport. What does that mean? What is a suitcase robbery? What does that mean? What is a suitcase robbery? Yeah, I could drive people mad. And because I don't believe in, I believe in questioning everything. And I believe there's lots of lies that we're told. And you need to question everything. I mean, you look at America right now. I couldn't have believed the American government was such lying CUNTs. Ruby Wax just snogged one of I'm a Celebrity presenters. Well, that's lovely. Did she get permission to do that? Or did she just kiss somebody? I think Patrick enjoyed having him on the Late Show, but the others couldn't handle it. That could be true. Could be true. A lot of people couldn't handle me. I think that's true. I should have been more handleable, but I'm not handleable. Pepper spray suitcase robbery, Carrie B says. Well, what does that mean to be what does it mean to be a suitcase robbery? That's why we are here. Yeah, I appreciate, and don't think I don't appreciate why you're here. I love that you're here. I'm too nice to you. That's, I think, my problem. I should be nastier and meaner and get, maybe, possibly that's true. that the suspect and the victim knew each other, so it's probably some inter-family feud thing, internecine, as we would call it. Lewis, there was an incident in Heathrow today with people being sprayed. I know that, but what does a suitcase robbery mean? What does that phrase mean? Suitcase robbery. I haven't heard of that. Mark the row. A cat attacked the pigeon, so I felt bad and nursed him better, Dave Toby says. Yeah. I think nursed has a D, but okay. We are lovely people needing to feel part of something. Thank you. Yes, I'm the same way. And this is a good community to be part of. The guy leading it is a bit chaotic, but we put up with it. Plus, we want to talk to a superstar. That's what I like to hear. And I like to hear there's a sense of community. And I like to, that's why when somebody gets upset and doesn't come back because of me, I feel like I've let people down. I'm guessing you're guessing that, but you don't know that for a fact, Kermit. So I'm going to have to look this up. What is a suitcase robbery? Let's go look at this thing here. What is a suitcase robbery? Okay, what is a suitcase robbery? What does that mean? What does that mean? There's no answer for what it is. What happened to he? What's the difference between a mugging and a robbery? In a pepper spray suitcase robbery, according to the Telegraph. I don't think we'll be able to see it here. Maybe in the Daily Mail it'll say something. Daily Mail. Does anybody know what a suitcase robbery is? Daily Mail. Does that mean a suitcase was stolen? I mean, somebody stole the person's suitcase. Four men steal a woman's luggage shortly after a flight landed at Heathrow. It is understood they sprayed the substance at her, affecting other passengers. Maybe it wasn't Muslims. If it wasn't, I apologize. Has been arrested on suspicion of assault. Two groups of people known to each other. That's what they said at first. Can you see that? I think I'm... She was robbed of her suitcase by four men who sprayed a substance believed to be pepper spray in her direction. Khadifah Yunus was picking up family from the airport. It was chaos, that's what she says. Very interesting. Okay. Let's get back on track. They were stealing a suitcase. So it is, I thought maybe it was a type of robbery, like a bank robbery. You rob a bank, but it's a suitcase. It's of a suitcase. Maybe there was weed in the suitcase. It's a good point. Maybe it was coming from a country where they were bringing in jewelry or something, smuggling out stuff. Or maybe, who knows? The wonderful thing about language is that words have meaning. By using words, we don't need to imagine. Well, we do need to imagine, because maybe a suitcase robbery is when they put all of the criminal elements in a suitcase. Maybe it's kind of like Clue, or Cluedo, as you call it in this country. Back on track. Well, we had track. No, we weren't on track. But it's an interesting question. Isn't that an interesting question about that? They took their family feud to one of the world's biggest airports. Yeah, that this is what they, you can't attack the state. People who can't attack the state, they attack their family. They can't attack the state, or maybe they can't attack other groups, so they attack their family. My parents used to scream at each other. It was live on air, I think. It was a game of kiss, marry, avoid, and she kissed Deck, and he got a boner and hit it with a pillow, all live on TV. Um, says Alex. That's talking about what's her name? What is her name? Um, I mean, interesting, interesting. Okay, you can take it, but it could mean a suitcase robbery is like a new type, like a smash and grab robbery is where they smash the window and grab the things. But you could picture it because you've seen it. You've seen them coming on bikes, throwing something at a jewelry shop and going in. And that's what I thought. That's what I thought it meant, suitcase robbery. But it doesn't mean that. Nothing to see here, says Eugene DeVere. That's right, nothing to see. We don't want to know what these things are. We don't know what these things are. So we're heading off to the end of this show. Anybody want to say something? Anybody want to pray something? I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm running out of steam. So I mean, I'm not going to be able to talk too much. Threatened with a suitcase. It could be that. That's what it could be, Salera at Ordex. Somebody said, here's a suitcase. I'm going to hit you in the head with a suitcase. If I said I had a flat robbery, would you think I had my flat robbed? Yeah, who made the joke about a flat tire? Having a flat tire. Who made that joke? Yeah, you wouldn't, but you might. Well, I have a very expansive brain, Kermit. I used to love eating hash and being stoned. Yes, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm not a big taker of that stuff. I'm not a big taker. When you run out of Rizla papers, well, they smoke the weed differently than they do in this country. They do in America. America, they put a lot of pot in the rolling paper. Here, you put tobacco, and you put a little bit of hash, or you put a little bit. I don't even know. Can you get hash anymore? Do they have that anymore? Or you put the weed with the rolling paper. If I come at you with a sharp suitcase, Lewis, will you give me your wallet? You could be made afraid of anything. I don't smoke. I eat. Well, me too. I eat a lot. I've been on a diet for today. I've been on a diet every single day. I've had about 1,800 calories, 1,900 calories. It's very hard to lose weight. Now we're not going to talk about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Caribbean. Don't eat so much. I thought you were about to provide us with a new version of a Dr. Hook song. Hi ho. If I come at you, hi ho, what is the song? If I said I had a flat robbery, would you think I had my flat robbed? Or they only stole things that were flat, like pancakes? Words change meanings. So yes, it's possible. It's possible. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind, Carrie B. I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm not going to read that aloud, but I'll keep it in mind. I robbed the laundry, says Eugene DeVere as a joke, and I got clean away. Very good. So listen, everybody, I haven't mentioned this, but let's go to Ko-fi and maybe make a contribution if you have the extra cash lying around. If you like the sense of community we brought here. If I said you had a beautiful suitcase, would you hand it over to me? Okay. McCuff likes that. That's like a reference to something that I don't remember what, but it sounds very, very, very familiar. Kermit's had a very hard day. Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow. there's no pressure on anybody here except to be nice to me. Thank you, Mr. Cuff. Thank you, Carrie B. and Eugene DeVere and Gnome Hunter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We'll be around tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Go to the Discord and talk to people in the Discord. You can talk to them directly or talk to me at Lewis Schaffer, Twitter at X, at Lewis Schaffer, one word. Same name as says on the thing here. Thank you, Girl from Mars and Gnome Hunter, Eugene DeVere. Thank you, Rocket League. Thank you, Carrie B, for coming here. I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Maria Panagiotis. Maria Panagiotis. Thank you very much. Thank you, Russ. We're going to say a prayer for you. Thank you, Lucy and Joodles and Girl from Mars and McCuff. Thank you, Carrie B. If I don't mention your name, of course, say it at the end. Go to Discord and say, "By Lewis didn't mention my name," and I'll mention your name. Eugene DeVere, thank you very much. Ron Smith, thank you. Jedster, old friend, Jedster. Alex, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Cuff. Mark the Rosian, thank you. Mark the Rosian, at Lewis Schaffer. Mormelian, I really appreciate it a lot for you being here. Thank you very, very much. Go to Discord. Go to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Lewis Schaffer, Lewis Schaffer. And you can do a small contribution. Or go to Patreon at Lewis Schaffer. Like the stream. That's maybe subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I can't imagine. We're up to 1,200,000. You need a comedy scripts writers. Just ask us. You're funny people. Maybe we'll all write something. Donate at Patreon. Thank you. Buy the stream of coffee. Thank you, Kermit. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. Thank you, Shanks. Roast beef. Thank you for your help. David B. Your son is out of the house yet? No, he's in the other room. One son, and the other son isn't here. Why do you need to know? What do you know? Yeah, I mean, yesterday we had 22 million followers. That stuff can happen, and now we've got 1,200 followers. It can happen. It can happen. 10B? What about 10B? Girls from Mars? Thank you. If I haven't mentioned your name, just say, "Hey, what about me?" Joe, I haven't mentioned Joe's name. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Joe. Cellaire at Audex. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Dear Lord. One of our, I guess, members, you could say, here, one of our contributors here, one of our chatters, is a man named Russ. And he's been looking after his mother because his mother has been going psychologically up and down and all over the place. And he's really worried about her. But more than worried, he's worried about himself too, that he has the strength to be the only one, basically, to look after his mom. And he's been doing a really beautiful job in looking after his mom. And we ask you, as our Lord, Lord of the universe, Lord of the solar system, Lord of the planet Earth, to look after Russ, to give Russ the strength that he needs, the strength that Russ needs in order to look after his mom. His mom. Amen. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Russ. Okay. That was my prayer for you. The give that the Lord gives you strength. Kermit says amen in his language, I guess. I hope Jules was watching. Laugh out loud. I hope she was. She was here in the beginning, but I hope she was watching Jules. Let me thank Jules. She's given me a lot of strength and a lot of help in this thing. So thank you, Jules. Okay, it was sincere. It was sincere. And then tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We're not on tomorrow at 5. I'm gonna change this. We're on at 5:30 tomorrow. Goats. Okay. Thank you, Alex, for mentioning. Um, we're on tomorrow at 5. Chinese Elvis and I. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna change that. We're on at 5. Because at 5, Nunhead American Radio is on. You can go to Twitter, or maybe I'll put it up on Discord, and it'll be there. I think it's been okay. I've enjoyed being here with you people. Okay, David B, thank you for coming in, because I thought about my own mother, and I thought about me and how I needed help, and I didn't, and I would have appreciated someone giving me a prayer. So there you go. I'll see you later. I love you. I love you. I hope you know that I love you, and I do appreciate you being here. And I love the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Irish, the Scots, the Celts, the Picts, the English. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I love the Nigerians that have lived here and called this country their home and want it to be the England that we know. So I do love you, and I hope you do appreciate that. I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30. Maybe I should say, because I just read what you wrote, Kermit, that a prayer is for all of us who are taking care of our elderly parents and need help taking care of our elderly parents and giving them the love that we want to give them and the love that they deserve. And to ask the Lord to give us the strength to be as good a parent, good a son as Kermit is to his parents. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow at 5.